There is an ancient Irish law. There is an ancient Irish, ancient Gaelic law that says you cannot help someone. You cannot help someone without their consent. Sounds weird, doesn't it? You cannot assist someone without their consent. You can't save someone without their consent. It also says that you cannot hurt someone. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? You cannot hurt someone. You cannot damage someone without their consent. It might be unconscious consent, but without their consent, you cannot hurt someone or save someone without their consent. And this is so embedded into the Gaelic culture, so embedded into Irish people, that is actually part of their language. And when they speak, it is embedded in absolutely embedded into the language, cannot be pulled apart. For example, there's no word for please. There's no word for please in the Irish language. So in English we can say please. The Catholic Church has taught us to say please. Please. God, please help me just this one time. I'm small and you're big, and if you just save me just this one time, I'll never ask for anything ever again. It's embedded into the Catholic Church, not into what Jesus taught, into the Catholic Church, that we supplicate God for his favour, or we supplicate the King for his favour. This is not even, in the Irish language, in the Gaelic language, this is not even a concept. Supplication. It's not even a concept in the Gaelic language. To say please, today we say please in the Gaelic language. You say lead the hull. Lead the hull. If you look it up now, it'll say lead the hull means please. It doesn't. It doesn't mean please. It doesn't. Not in the same concept as please means in English. Please. Can you please do this for me? Lead the hull. It doesn't mean please. If you translate, just as crack doesn't exactly, driocht doesn't exactly mean magic. It's a bit more complex than that. Crack in Gaelic doesn't mean fun as such. It's a bit more complex. It's a bit more nuanced than translating exactly. And let the hull does not mean please. even if ChatGPT tells you it means please, or even if you look it up in a dictionary and it says it means please. If you translate it exactly true, it means something more like with your will. With your will. Or it could mean let it be. Or it could mean it is done. Let the hull. It's much more nuanced. And you can say it means please, it's fine. You can say yes, it means please. You use it in the place of please if you want to say please, the way the English language should say please. But let the hull is not a supplication. Let the hull is with your will. So it's much more complex than please. Please save me. Let the hull, it's with your will. It's much more complex and nuanced, and it means a lot more. And it's recognizing the human condition a lot more than please, with your will. So you will say, if I was to translate exactly to English, you'll say, would you mind getting me that pen with your will? That's how you would say it. Can I have the milk with your will? Or if you're meditating or praying, you would say, I want to be monetized on YouTube with your will. Let's say just pick something out of the sky. With your will. So what that would mean is that you are recognizing that the other person's free will is important. The other person's free will is important. You are recognizing that you cannot affect, they can say no, and you cannot affect their will. You cannot affect their will without their consent. It's recognizing that the universe, Ireland, the goddess Eru, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is consent based. It's all consent based. And this is a human truth that is known throughout the ages. And I'm going to say that the black magicians, the Fomorians, know that it's a consent-based universe. They know it's a consent-based universe, and they know they cannot hurt you or help you without your consent. I'm going to say they know that. The black Fomorian magicians, they know they cannot hurt you or help you without your consent. That is why when you read the news, it's all negative news. This terrible thing happened. And that's why these things appear suddenly. For example, let's say, just pick something at random. That's obviously not true, but let's pick something just randomly out of the sky. Let's say they want to get people out of cars. They're going to show you all of the statistics of crashes, or this person did this, or these amount of people are speeding. All these people are driving cars that are not roadworthy. They're going to start showing you all these things, so you'll say, oh, we've got to do something about this. As soon as enough people start saying we've got to do something about this, they've got consent to make changes. And it's a consent-based universe. They need consent before they can do anything. And Let the Whole is recognizing this with your will. Does not mean please. Does not mean please. Let the Whole. And this is why this little phrase, Let the Whole, is a magical phrase. It's a Gaelic magical phrase. It's recognizing the sovereignty of the individual. It's a magical phrase. It's recognizing that we create from the inside with our will. And that what we've created on the inside, in our Driocht, in the Dagda's cauldron, in our imagination, what we create on the inside becomes the outside. That's why the black magicians want to show you everything negative that's happening in the world. This person did this person did that, this person did that. So you can create that on the outside. You can take that in and create that on the outside. Let the Whole. It's recognizing it's absolute react, absolute magic. It's recognizing that your will, with your will, everything is created with your will, with your imagination. Everything is created from there, and it comes from the inside and goes to the outside. This is embedded directly into the source code of the Gaelic people, into the source code of the language. Let the Whole. And Let the Whole is recognizing that your will or your sovereignty is important. Your consent is important. So nothing can happen to you. Let the Whole is recognizing that nothing can happen to you without your consent. It requires unconscious consent, fear-based consent, or some sort of agreement for it to happen. Even if it's trickery, even if you've given consent through trickery, it's still consent. But nothing can happen without your will, without your sovereignty. And Let the Whole is the source code of the Gaelic language, which is telling you this. Nothing can happen without your consent. Nothing negative. Also nothing positive. And this is important because sometimes people you care about deeply, family members, maybe friends, maybe just people in your community, could be spiraling down. I want to tell a quick story that I grew up with someone when I was very, very young. I grew up with someone who got involved in heroin, and eventually, I just knew them when they were very young. We kind of went different paths, and they died eventually of a heroin overdose. But if you knew someone like that who was spiraling down, who was addicted, had an addiction, was in heroin, was in whatever, What did he do nowadays? Fentanyl, stuff like that. I think in America. But if you're someone that's spiraling down, has an addiction, I think of addiction to work. To working. Is that bad? But people have all kinds of addictions, have all kinds of patterns. Some of them are spiraling down, and you cannot help them. You cannot help them without their consent. I think Charlie Sheen talked about this. He was saying he went to all kinds of rehabs. He tried to get off whatever he was on. I don't even know, because I watched the documentary, but I can't remember what he was on, what he wasn't on. But he said that as soon as he decided, that was it. He was done. As soon as he decided. When other people, with his will, led the whole, with his will, when he decided it, when it was his consent, he finished it like that. But when other people wanted him to stop, he would never stop. Because it's your consent, it's your will, you've got to decide. And that can be painful when you're watching people you love going through really negative situations. That can be very, very difficult, but you cannot help them without their consent. You cannot help them without their consent. And this is important, because if you try to help someone without their consent, what happens is it backfires. It always backfires. There's some sort of energetic entanglement. You'll be pulled down with them. It'll backfire. It'll drain your energy. This happens to a lot of people who are in relationships with people who are in a negative place. It drains your energy. You get an energetic entanglement where you can't get away from that relationship. You keep going back to that relationship because you have an energetic entanglement. Sometimes you've got to walk away and not try to help. Just let people spiral down until they're ready. And let the whole, with your will, which we translate today to please, recognize this. It's the source code of the Irish language. Source code. And this recognizes that creation, let the whole also recognize that creation starts inside first and then goes outside. Let the whole with your will. Because desire is noisy. In your mind, desire is noisy. Neediness is noisy. Connection is noisy. And I'm not talking about the connection of a relationship when you're in a relationship with someone and you feel a connection with them. I'm not talking about that kind of connection, but connection where grasping connection is noisy in your mind. But let the whole will, letting go, let the whole with your will. If you're talking to the goddess Eru and you talk to the goddess Eru and you say, I want this thing in my life, let the whole, end it with let the whole with your will. With that, you're saying, you're letting it go. It's similar to saying amen, or similar to saying let it be, or similar to saying it is done, let the whole. But you're actually talking in the source code of the goddess Eru's language. Let the whole. With your will. It'll come when it comes. It's unexpected, benevolent change. Whatever way I think it's going to come, it's not going to come that way. Let the whole with your will. It's unexpected, it's benevolent, and it's change. But the most important part of that is unexpected. It comes in a way where Goddess Eru likes to surprise you. It comes in a way where, whoa, I never expected it to go from there. Unexpected benevolent change. With your will, let the whole. You talk to the Goddess Eru, you talk in English for sure, but end it with let the whole. And then what you're saying to the Goddess then is, it'll come, I know it'll come, but it'll come in your way, in your timing. And I'm okay with that. I'm enjoying my today. I'm experiencing today. I'm living right now for this moment. And when it comes and it'll surprise me. But right now, I'm just enjoying this moment. Right now. Let the whole. It's really important. So, every time you say let the whole, you're doing a number of different things. You're recognizing the sovereignty of the other person. You're also recognizing the sovereignty of the goddess. You're recognizing the sovereignty of Ireland, led the whole with your will, but you're also recognizing the sovereignty of the other person. The other human being has their own sovereignty. They're here to go through their experiences that they chose. They may look very, very negative to you, and even they may say to you, hey, Al, I didn't choose, how could I have chose this horrible thing to go through? How could I have chosen this? They may say to you in that moment, but it is their will, and they may have chosen it on another level. They may have chosen before they were born. They may have said, I want to go through this horrible experience. And when they choose to stop going through the horrible experience, you can help them. But they have to choose it. And let the whole recognizes their sovereignty of doing that. But it also recognizes the sovereignty of not being able to hurt someone else. You cannot hurt someone else unless they consent. Now, it might be fear-based consent. It might be unconscious consent. But they have to consent. But they have to consent at some level, even if it's unconscious. So they may say, I'm not consenting to this, but it has to be at least unconscious consent, or you cannot help them, or you cannot hurt them. But when you say led the whole, you're also doing one other thing as well. You're undoing black domination magic of the Fomorians. There has been chains put in Ireland. Black magic. Fomorian black magic. And when you say led the whole with your will, you're recognizing other people's will, but you're also recognizing your own will to create. And that nothing can be done to you without your will, without your consent. You're recognizing that. And you are weakening the black Fomorian chains, or the black magic that's been put in the world and put in Ireland. You're weakening those chains. You're weakening links until the chains get broken. Led the whole. Led the whole. It's a magical phrase. It's an absolute magical phrase. The Irish language, the Gaelic language, remembers. In the source code of the Gaelic language, it remembers what we've forgotten, what we've completely forgotten. Not domination, not coercion. These do not work in this world. Domination, coercion, control do not work. Do not work. Let the whole, with your will, is recognizing sovereignty. It's recognizing freedom. It's recognizing that we create from the inside to the outside. It's our will. We're creating this world. We're completely creating this world through our consent, through what we expect to happen. And let the whole is recognizing that. Let the whole is recognizing consent. It's let the whole is poetry within words. It's metaphysics. Metaphysics encoded into a language. Let the whole.